Hello and welcome back to the Marketing Chatroom. I am here with Lauren Britton today. She is the founder and CEO and owner of Monkeeroos. She does it all. Really excited to have a chat with her today as a business owner with hands on pretty much every part of the business, and hear a little bit about herself and her founder story and how she created and developed her brand into what it is today. So welcome, Lauren. I'm super excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. It's my first ever podcast, so
Oh,
uh,
yay.
I'm excited to be a part of your platform. And you're doing amazing things as a founder of a company. So
Thank you so
yeah,
much. Yeah. So if you want to kick us off with just a little bit about yourself, a
yeah.
quick background and like your founder story, I'd love to hear how you got the idea for Monkeeroos and where it's taking you.
Yeah, so I think in college, so I played college basketball and my husband played college basketball, and I was this ultimate jock who never thought of myself in a fashion industry at all. The cheerleaders at school used to ask could they put on clothes for me and do my hair and makeup because fashion was not my thing. So to find myself in a fashion industry now is quite entertaining to most of them. But started out as a psychology major and thought I'd go into child psychology. Switched halfway through my degree and went into industrial and organizational psychology, more on the marketing side. I was always super interested in like why people bought things and what made them like why did they pick these colors for the logo or that sort of thing. So IO Psych was perfect for me, and right out of school got a job doing marketing for Bacardi and did Bacardi marketing for a couple years, and then transitioned into furniture and went into sourcing and designing furniture. And then during COVID, furniture was kind of a gross mess, and I had a daughter, I had a 4-month-old, and we were gifted a pair of bamboo pajamas. And she had been if you have children at all, you're watching this, you know that kids grow out of clothes within a day or two of wearing them. You wear them once and they're disposable, they're gone. And somebody gifted her a pair of bamboo pajamas, and we quickly learned that she was wearing that. It was a Halloween pair, and she was wearing them well into like Easter of the next year. And then even longer than that, we still wore them for probably the next year and a half. They just continue to stretch. And I told my husband, I was like, these last forever. They're hypoallergenic, so her eczema went away completely when she wore those, and they're temperature regulating. So she was not waking up sweaty in the middle of the night when she wore them. Like, she slept so good in them, and I was like, this stuff is magic. And I have a Chinese QC team, and they're doing furniture for me, but I bet they can find me a factory to do bamboo. So in a 3-month span, I went from furniture to basically spending every dime we had on my first order of pajamas, and my husband thinking I was crazy. We didn't have a name of the company when I placed my first order. Uh, but now we're here 3 years later, so apparently it worked out.
Oh my gosh, that's that's so cool. And I don't have kids yet, so I didn't even know. That's a really cool benefit of the pajamas that they stretch and like they can grow with the baby
Yes.
or the little kid. That's cool. And the breathability is super nice because I know that that temperature is a big concern for little ones.
Yes. Sleeping for adults is the big concern. So if you can get that little one to sleep, you're a much happier parent.
For sure. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, cool. So it's almost seems like random, like fate that you started your company, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit of, previous experience in sourcing and marketing, but also wanting to give my daughter something that she could grow with as she gets older. Like, life is hard, let's be real. Um, you don't have kids yet, but like being a woman in business is hard enough. And then you throw in kids and then changing environment, the economy, and it's just always like, where's that next paycheck coming from? And I wanted to give her a sense of security that she had something that she could grow and have as her own and not ever have to worry about someone else paying her paycheck. So that was
Yeah.
the real kind of reason behind it. And now I have a little boy too. So I guess I should include him in there. He'll get something from it at some point.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's really cool that you're building like not only a company but a legacy for your family.
That's exactly what we're hoping for.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about branding. How did you come up with the name and the logo and like the brand voice? What were your steps there?
Yeah, I think for us, the name was kind of organic. The first thing you do when you start thinking of names is you're like writing things out and you're making lists and you're talking to your friends about it. And jokingly on my dad he lives at the lake and we were out on the boat one day and my husband had always called Amelia, our daughter, his little Monkeeroo. Because if anybody watching has a COVID baby, you know that they have the energy and like I don't know if you've seen like the TikTok videos of like COVID babies, but it's a real thing. Like my child was crawling at 4 months and walking at 8 months and like
Oh
on
my gosh.
counters. Like they just have a different level of energy. And we were always like, if a monkey and a kangaroo had a baby, that would be my child. Like that energy would be her. So he always called like he'd be like, that's my little Monkeeroo. And everyone's like, why are you not just naming it Monkeeroos? And for a while we were nervous about like it my husband is African American, as my daughter is both black and white. And the connotation of monkey, I was terrified. I was like, I'm not doing this. But my husband was like, you know what? Like this is who she is, this is who we are, and we'll put our brand voice out there and they'll know who we are as people and we won't worry about that other stuff. So it was very organic. I was the one pushing back on it, but I actually really I think it's so cute. It's playful but it's still sophisticated. So
Yeah.
that's where the name came from. And the brand voice, I am a very not serious person. Most people think I'm still in my 20s and I don't think I ever want to grow up. I don't want to. And my brand voice, when I started talking with marketing agencies, looking for a logo, because we got our logo done with an agency, um,
Nice.
was I wanted to be the like Wendy's of bamboo. Like I loved Wendy's brand voice. Um,
Yeah.
they're always like, trolling somebody or making fun of McDonald's for their ice cream machine not working. And I just loved it. They just whoever's running their social media, it just seems like a person. So my brand voice, I always wanted to not be a company. I want to be a person. I want to be me. So we joke with people, we laugh, our brand voice is very organic and it's the everyday mom who is like getting up in the morning and no hair, no make this like if you saw me an hour before this podcast, like there is no hair and makeup done on a regular basis. I'm in yoga pants and like that is our brand. Our brand voice is that mom who is just we're here. Like we made it. We got here. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Oh, I love that so much.
yeah.
Very cool. And then, so with that, it sounds like your brand voice kind of just developed really naturally, and everything is a little organic, like you say, which ties in really well to the bamboo, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, so that's cool. And then marketing, what are your most successful channels? Like, where are you posting? Where are you advertising? And what are you seeing there?
Yeah. We're very heavy on Instagram and Facebook. Facebook by far is our like go-to.
Okay.
It's odd. I think everybody's shifting to TikTok and Instagram, but for us, Facebook has been a community. We wanted from day one to build a community. I didn't care about having at the beginning. I didn't care about let me get your email address, let me capture this and send you marketing. It was hey, we're here for you guys. It was, let's get in the community and let's talk about your kid has eczema or your kid has a soccer game this weekend. Let's all cheer your kid on or, that sort of thing. And so we built a community on Facebook and that has continued to grow. We have a bigger following on Instagram than we do Facebook, but the Facebook community is very active. It's very engaged. They just really rally behind one another. If someone
Yeah.
is having a baby, I've had customers that are like, hey, can we send them a baby gift because they announced they're having a baby and like can you just put a little note in there for us? Or it's just such a good community. We had a mom recently who had a child who had open heart surgery at Duke, and another lady reached out to me and said, we have Duke licensing, so she was like, can we send her a Duke package, a care package? And we're like, we already did it, but we'll put your name on it. Like, so it's just
Aw.
such a cute community. And the moms are just very backing to one another. Like they have side chats with each other. I'm in 100 group chats with just customers. So Facebook
That's
is
so
definitely our
nice.
go-to.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's really cool. And excuse the garbage truck outside. I don't think I think it. I'll try to edit it out, but yeah. Um, that's really nice. And actually, my last three, I think, podcast guests, this topic has come up, like just building community within your market and within like your target audience is so important. I think maybe especially these days because community just looks differently than it used
Yeah.
to in the past, and after COVID and everything being hyper digital, people are really looking for those that they can connect with on a deeper level rather than just like, hey, buy my stuff, because like you have great selling points for your products and that's awesome. And I'm sure that sells people on its own. But when you have that added layer of like a community of people who actually care about each other and are giving each other advice and like able to be involved in like the highs and lows of motherhood and just daily life, that's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely been our biggest selling point. Our key customers have been here since day one. You know, they feel like family, like they're friends, they're family. They will support us no matter what we do. And they're your biggest advocates. You know, they're the ones telling their friends or buying, baby shower gifts for other people. They're the ones who really back your brand and push your voice out there. I'm on a ton of Facebook bamboo groups, and I constantly see these same 10 women promoting us. If somebody asks for anything that we remotely cover, that they're Monkeeroos, here's a link. You should try out Monkeeroos. Like, and that's organic. I mean, I'm not asking them to do that. I'm not paying them to do that. They don't really get any perks for that. So it's it's nice. I think, anybody can start a brand today. And I guess more so anybody can start a company today, but
Mhm.
building a brand is such a different thing than starting a company. And I think that's where a lot of people miss is you can go sell an item on, Amazon now or just through a Facebook ad. You can sell any item you want to, but to build a company that's going to have lasting impressions on the community, you've got to build your brand before you build the content. So that's what we're
That's
trying to do.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And it sounds like you've done a really good job of building something like that has heart, like something that you really believe in, that's relevant to your family and that's going to last for generations. And that's really cool. And people love not only that type of business, but like people love supporting a founder and like a brand. Yeah, like you said, like a brand rather than a company. I like that.
Yeah, it's transparency. The most people that talk about us talk about how transparent. If we have a price increase, like I'm explaining why and I'm breaking it down. I'm not just, saying here's a flat fee over the top. We're talking about the hard things. And if I screw up on shipping, or like we've had Shopify has done it to us a couple of times where it says a label has printed, like a whole batch of labels, but they never printed. Or the post office has lost an entire, like when we started first shipping more than one bag at a time, like we used a couple crates at a time. And then we started bringing in a bunch of bags, and the post office was losing shipments. And, we're just very transparent. We're like, hey, look, this is what's going on. We've never dealt with this before. Give us some time to figure it out. And if we can't figure it out with the post office, we're going to reship you. And we've lost thousands of dollars before on a shipment with like 50 to 70 orders lost at a time. And we just do what's best for our customer. At the end of the day, we try to like run this company. What would I want if I was a consumer? And so sometimes we have a policy for everything on our website, but we don't always stick to it. If we like to be able to talk to you, Kayla, and say, what's your situation? It's not a blanket, like, okay, you didn't get your order. Well, sorry, file a claim. Like we try to really handle one-on-one cases with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really nice. And I'm sure that ties into like, I mean, not only your brand values, but your like your marketing strategy and what you're putting out there. I'm sure that it feels a lot more authentic than like, let's say, I mean, there are so many clothing brands and I'm sure so many children's like pajama brands out there that are just like, sourcing stuff and shipping it from wherever to where they've never had their hands on it. It's just like drop shipping. I
Yep.
like and I'm sure it's so much cheaper and, more convenient or whatever, but it's really cool that you guys are building something that you can really be proud of and that your customers can really be proud of too. And I bet that like return on that is just not only revenue wise, but like
Yeah.
what you get out of it personally is fulfilling, as well as your retention. It sounds like you get a lot of like referrals and gifting, all of
Yeah.
that too. That's really cool.
We do, but it's definitely rewarding, especially like with our reviews. Like I've cried over some of our reviews before. Like they're just you see just these moms, and we've done like newborn gifting where anybody who had a baby recently will give you a free romper. Because like new moms have enough going on like to worry about. So we try to like give back everywhere we can, and to see some of the impactful stories like that's so much more rewarding than seeing what's in the bank account at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and this is just a little reminder to anyone watching, like support small businesses because it's
We
just
care. We do
yeah,
care.
it's so nice. Like that just feels good to me.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ah, I love it. So talk to me about like maybe some of the biggest lessons that you've learned or just things that you've learned in starting and running your brand.
I have learned a lot. Let's see. No, I would highly suggest to anyone out there, if you are wanting to start a company, to get a mentor, get two mentors, someone else who's done what you've done or what you want to do, um, someone who has been through your business. I went to certain people and I asked advice and did things, but a lot of people were very intelligent people, but they never started an e-com company. And e-commerce is a lot different than running a regular business. It's the nuances of it are a lot different. And so I took a lot of bad advice in the beginning, and I should have, there was one piece of advice that I should listen to more than anything, which was don't grow too quickly. That is, I think everybody will hear that if you start a company from somebody, but it is so seriously like the biggest piece of advice ever. We were so organic at first, and then we got all this advice to like grow. Let's jump now while strike while the iron is hot, and let's pump all this money into it, and let's get out SBA loans, and let's do a line of credit here, and let's do this. And sometimes money can really hurt you. The more money you pour into something, the more money you have to go create at the end of the day. And it overhead for us jumped up so much so quickly. I wish I had slowed down, taken a deep breath, and talked to someone who had been in econ before and someone who understood cash flow, because an SBA for us, yes, you get in this chunk of money and you go buy merchandise with it, but your merchandise sells and now you need more merchandise. And it's a constant ebb and flow. And now that money's gone and you're just stuck paying a bill every month.
Mm,
And it was something that if I had known at the beginning, I would have never done. So learning little things like just talk to somebody who's been there, done that. And I am by far, if you want to reach out to me at any point, anybody watching, I've got like 4 or 5 women now that reach out to me and kind of just ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to not know an answer. Don't be afraid to be embarrassed over I lost some money or I made a mistake. We've all made mistakes. And my mentors now that I'm working with, some of them have ran $750 million companies. And you guys, there's some very big brand names that I work with that you would all know. And they're like, at first I was scared to tell them some of my mistakes because I didn't want them to judge me. And they're like, Lauren, we all were there. Like we made those same mistakes, but on a much bigger scale. Like yours are fixable. So just don't be afraid to talk to people and ask for advice, because we don't all know it. You don't walk into a business knowing, and there's so much that comes along with this. It is not just marketing. Like I didn't know anything about finances, accounting, and I had to learn it all.
yeah.
Inventory flow, there's just so much that goes into it that you don't think about. Just get a mentorship. I highly recommend it. And I've got a good one if anybody ever needs it. You can send me an email and I'll hook you guys up with some good mentors.
That's awesome. Yeah, I could imagine that. Like, I mean, I've never fully run an e-commerce business, but I could imagine that there are a lot of moving pieces and a lot of just things to consider and things to know and things like you can't be an expert on
Yeah.
everything yourself. And even if you were, you wouldn't have the time to like appropriately manage each of those
Yeah.
pieces by yourself, right?
I've made a little bit
So
of all those mistakes. I've tried to run everything on my own. At the beginning,
uh,
you're hiring agencies to run Facebook ads, you're hiring agencies to run Google ads, to do your email marketing. And I've been through multiple agencies that did nothing for us. And ultimately, I took a course and learned how to run paid ads myself. And we've done great with them ever since. Yeah, but you can't be everything to everybody. And that's the number one thing. We've made mistakes where somebody says, "Oh, I wish your women's t-shirts had a split seam," or "I wish that your kids' pajamas had this." And we were like, "Oh, let's go make that change." And we're making a change for one person and not everybody. And
Hmm.
you can't be everything to everybody in any means of it, to your customers or to your business. So it's just finding help.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good advice. Probably just in life in general, but
It is, I think it
particularly.
is. Like, if you're a mom or if you're anybody, like, we cannot do this alone. Like, that's why the community was so important to me. Like, you really need to have a support system, and I'm very lucky to have a great one. So it helps out a lot. There are days where, I mean, just being candid, I have put this up on Biz by Sell to sell. I was like, I can't do this anymore. The stress of Monkeeroos is too much. Get me out. And my support system really came strong to me. It was like, what are you doing? Like, what can we do to help? So
Yeah.
I was able to like get through that, but it's exhausting and it's a lot. And it's okay to say I'm tired. It's okay.
Hmm.
But I'm learning that
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. And I think people are, like you said, kind of scared of
Yeah.
that, kind of scared to ask for help or be vulnerable or say, like, I don't really know what I'm doing here. This is too much.
Oh yeah.
Like, somebody help me.
Oh yeah.
So that's really
It's
cool.
taboo
And
for us women, right? Like, we're supposed to
it
do it all. We're
is.
supposed to have the job and the career and get the laundry done and do the dishes and cook you dinner and all these things, and we're not supposed to ever get tired, and I love like, I'm raising my daughter, she's very independent, we're gonna use that word, and very strong-willed, and the other day I picked her up from school, and she looked at me, she goes, "Hey, mommy, how was your day?" And I was like, "It was good." And she goes, "Did you get tired today?" And I said, "Yes, baby, I did." She goes, "Well, did you take a nap?" And I was like, "I didn't get a chance." And she's like, "Let's go home and let's just have a moment." And I'm like, "Who is this little adult?" But we communicate it. We talk about it. It's okay to be tired. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. That's so
she
cute.
checks in on me.
Good. I'm glad you got someone who does.
It's the 4-year-old.
Yeah. That's so cute. You're raising her right. Yeah, that's really cool. And I mean, your target audience is moms who are probably all in very similar boats to you. So I'm sure that putting that messaging out there in your space and in your communities and in your marketing really resonates with them as well.
So far, it
So
really has. 'Cause
yeah,
our
yeah.
marketing is us. It is by far us.
Yeah, absolutely. And moms are all looking for that community. So that's really cool. All right. Well, on that note, how do you find your balance? Like what are you most passionate about in your business and how do you just balance all of the little pieces?
Yeah. I absolutely love coming up with new things. It's fun. We're a drop business, so we launch a new product every 2 weeks.
Oh
Which can
wow.
be exhausting. It can be scary, but it's also exciting. We're constantly getting to invent and we're constantly getting to I'm that IO psych mind, so I'm checking trends and looking for what's moving in marketing, and I'm the one who probably annoys the daylights out of my email marketing team because I'm like, "Hey, have y'all thought of this or this?" And it's like kind of their job, but I'm just very hands-on in marketing and pushing and I have my ideas and my little touch that needs to be on everything. But the invention of this is just so fun. Like, there's always something new and exciting to invent. And it's yours at the end of the day. Like, when you see something do well and it was your invention, like, I'm not artistic by any means, so I don't draw the prints. We have a designer, but giving her the ideas and telling her what I'm looking for and then seeing it come to fruition is it's just always exciting. It never gets old.
That's so cool. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Sounds really fun and really like a lot at the same time.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, before we sign off, anything else you want to add to the audience?
Yeah, I just appreciate, every single one of you who's gonna watch this, and I hope you all the best. If you are starting a company or thinking of starting a company, I just recommend go do it. If I'd sat around and thought about it, this would have never happened. I would have thought of all the negatives, and I highly encourage you, don't don't tell too many people what you're thinking of doing. If you have an idea and you want to run with it because your friends and your family are always going to tell you 10 reasons why you shouldn't. And they're going to make you doubt that idea. If you can't stop thinking about it, you should probably pursue it. And I have that actually written on my wall over here. Because if you can't stop thinking about it, then it's absolutely what it's calling you. And you should just go do it and find a way. There's always a way to do something, and there's always people. I'm a big advocate. If you ever need anybody, you can contact me. I answer emails all day long. I'm starting a brand, and could you give me some advice? And everybody's like, why are you giving advice on, how to source product to another lady who wants to start a bamboo brand? And I'm like, because to me, this isn't a pie. This isn't like if you take a slice, my slice is gone. Like this, there are so many ways for this to work. Some of the biggest people in this industry haven't even touched the market, and they're multi-million dollar companies. There's
Yeah.
so much room for all of us, and there's so much room for you and your designs and your ideas, no matter what it is. Just go do it. Don't overthink it.
I love that. Thank you so much, Lauren. This has
Yeah.
been an awesome chat. I'm excited we had the chance to connect, and I'm
Yes.
glad to learn a little bit more about you and about Monkeeroos. And I think the audience will really, really enjoy your takeaways here.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm just honored that you have me on here.
Oh my gosh, same. Well, thank you everyone for tuning into the marketing chat room. You can connect with Lauren. I'll leave some links for her below. And thank you again. Bye.
Bye.